Hello, my name's Joshua Morris, and I will be discussing the ineffectiveness of electronic monitoring. The research question I received involved a mayor possibly seeking to use electronic monitoring in order to reduce the prison overcrowding issue. So my research question is, would electronic monitoring be an effective method to reduce prison overcrowding? So, a little bit of background information. The major issue that many states are currently facing is the issue of prison overcrowding. This issue is a major problem because the prisons these states have simply cannot handle this huge influx of new prisoners. And most of these states simply cannot afford to build new prisons because they cost so much money. The more crowded these prisons get, the more dangerous these environments get, because when you have like a 20-to-1 prisoner and prison guard ratio, it gets pretty bad. Another problem this causes is how ineffective these prisons have become at reducing crimes. In fact, legislator keeps widening the net, making some what formerly was misdemeanors, they turned them into felonies, and this is one of the issues with prison overcrowding. A lot of these newer convicts are going in for lighter crimes. And with these prisons being so overcrowded, many of these prisoners end up worse than they were when they arrived at the prison. Again, this is like they don't have the one-on-one contact, they aren't getting rehabilitized, they're just being locked up, and then when their sentence is up, they're released and they get sent back into the public. Possible solution, I was looking at electronic monitoring and seeing if it would be an effective solution or not, and this is what I found out. Many people have turned to electronic monitoring as a possible solution to this problem. Any way to get people out of prison and back on the streets is what the correctional field is trying to solve. The only thing is, this type of program wouldn't fix the problem. It'd be more of a temporary solution. I mean, electronic monitoring gets people out of the prison and back into the public, but some of them don't get the help they need, like mentally ill convicts aren't going to get their assistance, drug addicts aren't going to become drug-free. It doesn't rehabilitize the convicts. Studies in Alaska have also shown that this type of solution does not reduce recidivism. Many of the people on electronic monitoring will break their set parameters. They'll break their agreements, they'll fail drug tests. Most of them end up back in prison. It doesn't really solve the problem permanently. Another study has shown that this type of program only works for the more serious offenders. The minor offenders absolutely hate this program. So the issue is, in order to lighten the load of the prisons, do they release the more serious offenders, or do they release minor offenders who hate the program and probably will break the program? It's a lose-lose situation. Another issue that seems to arise a lot from this program would be the issue with the technology itself. A case covered by the Guardian newspaper described a situation where a woman experienced all types of issues with her monitoring device. When she drive through a tunnel, it would get cut off. The probation office would get confused on whether or not they authorized a mall visit. And this issue wastes her time. It also wastes the time of the police and the court, and just causes a lot of problems. Personally, I believe that the electronic monitoring program should be used as a part of a bigger program. Research done by multiple agencies also back up this claim by saying that this program itself isn't a solution. If this program was implemented nationwide, some jurisdictions simply wouldn't be able to handle the cost or the manpower required to run this program. So if they slapped on this program with a bigger, more in-depth nationwide program, have like a rehabilitation side to it, then electronic monitoring would be effective. In order to solve the prison overcrowding problem, we have to figure out why these prisoners are committing the crimes they're doing. And I believe there's a more effective way to solve this problem. Thank you, and have a nice night.